Tonight, Rudy Giuliani has evolved to his final form. Over 3 decades, gone from America's prosecutor to America's mayor to now America's liar.
I'm standing before you as the next mayor of New York City.
Today is obviously one of the most difficult days in the history of the city and the country. The tragedy that we're all undergoing right now is something that we've had nightmares about.
Are you running or not?
Yeah, I'm running. Sure.
Are you? Have you? When will you? Do you make an official announcement, or is this it? Here, right now.
I guess you
just said I'm running.
I guess you do one of these things where you do it 4 times or 5 times in a day.
I'm proud that we chose to stay positive and to run a campaign of ideas in an era of personal attacks, negative ads, and cynical spin. We ran a campaign that was uplifting.
I'm Rudy Giuliani. I mean a lot in New York politics. I endorse Donald Trump, but I'm not part of the campaign.
Well, I don't know. How can they say there's no fraud? Look at that woman. Look at her taking those ballots out. Look at them scurrying around with the ballots. Nobody in the room, hiding around. They look like this. They look like they're passing out dope, not just ballots.
Let's have trial by combat.
Here to talk about what happened is former Rudy Giuliani staffer Mike Paul and former press secretary on Giuliani's first mayoral campaign, Ken Friedman. Thank you both for staying up with us. Mike, put this into perspective for us, the depths of how big of a fall this is for Giuliani.
Well, let's start with a man that had the moniker, the name, the brand, America's mayor. By the way, given to him by a black woman, and we'll get into race in a little bit, by the name of Oprah Winfrey in New York at Yankee Stadium, of all places. Went around the world. His ego started to fall right after 9/11. And let me explain. The fire department's union here, FDNY in New York, most people thought Rudy was always behind them. They were with Rudy. He was always there for the police as well as the police union. Well, when it came time for the fire department to decide who they were going to back, at least the union, for president, when Rudy decided to run, they made a commercial against him. Now, people said, why would he do that? Why would they do that? The reason why they did that is because when it came time for them to come to Rudy to support them from a city, state, and federal perspective regarding getting money for those who got sick on the pile, who were cleaning up the mess of 9/11, he wasn't there for them.
And Ken, what is the role of Donald Trump in all of this, do you think?
Well, he hovers like the specter. You know, Rudy's still playing to the MAGA crowd. That's why he was so defiant again today after the judgment was rendered. And he said, I don't regret a damn thing. Well, he should regret a lot of things. He should regret defaming 2 innocent poll workers, trying to upend a democratically held election, and many other things like trying to upend democracy, frankly. You mentioned earlier that he should be showing contrition. He studied for the priesthood at one time. And I think this is the time to be contrite and apologetic and recognize your sins, for lack of a better word. You know, your clip reminded me of election night in '93. I was on that stage, and I was the proudest night of my life until it wasn't, when he joined Donald Trump's defense team. And it's gone downhill, since then.
Yeah, but Abby, even before he ever joined Giuliani's defense team, he attacked the president of the United States by the name of Barack Obama. And in 2015, on another network, I had to denounce any relationship with him because it was that bad. Remember, he was saying that he wasn't born in this country. He was calling him a Muslim. He had started early on, way before he was attached to Donald Trump.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you made the point. He was named America's mayor by Oprah, only to now be accused of, actually found to have defamed 2 black women, accusing them of passing dope when they're just trying to count ballots. Look, to the 2 of you, I'll start with you, Ken. Fill in the blank here. Rudy Giuliani will be remembered for?
Well, I've written and I've said that his legacy, of course, has been demolished now. And as Mike mentioned, if he had stopped after 9/11 and, joined a law firm and made an honest living, that would be his obituary. America's mayor died today. Now it'll be Donald Trump's lawyer died today. So it changed the whole trajectory of his life for the worse.
Mike, how will he be remembered?
Well, Abby, let me start by saying, Rudy Giuliani had Trinidad and Tobago as a client. Both Abby and I have roots that go back to Trinidad. And he called it a banana republic, and he ended up getting fired. He will certainly be remembered for 9/11. That will be in the history books. But on the tail end of that, we will also see his fall. We will see that he attacked the President of the United States. We will see that he tied himself to a man by the name of Donald Trump, who he's known since the 80s, probably even the 70s, and did a lot of things for him in New York. Remember, Donald Trump put up a lot of buildings here, but at the same time, as he was making money, at one point $100,000 per speech, was billing in the thousands, was making millions of dollars as an attorney, really doing some lobbying work and public affairs and issues management type work. He decided to then go back to this man, Donald Trump, and it's going to be his fall. And it's going to be so bad that his children are going to be concerned about letting people know their last names the same way that these two courageous women had to try and fight for their name.
His daughter's already changed her last name. She uses her mother's maiden name.
Well, he has a son who's still following in his footsteps. I also think that we should be looking where he might be hiding money. Sometimes that's done with family. Let's see what happens in the future when it comes to those areas, too.
There will be a lot of scrutiny on where they can scrounge up, even if it's some of this settlement here for Ruby and for Shay. Mike Paul and Ken Friedman, thank you both very much.